what's your favorite Kevin Costner movie?
I was just thinking about this the other day. I think it was...
You were just thinking about Kevin Costner movies? Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Cruisin with Zach. Today we have the Executive Director over at the Cape May County Coast Guard Community Foundation, Mr. Mike Couch. Mike, welcome on the show.
Thanks, Zach.
That's quite the mouthful.
It's a long organization name.
All right, hopefully you don't have to pay by the letter.
No, we don't, but it doesn't always fit in the space that you're provided to put in, applications and things like that.
Okay, well, long name, but a great cause. Tell us a little bit about the foundation, what you guys are trying to achieve over there, how it got started, things like that.
Yeah, I think the best place to start is with the Coast Guard Community designation that the county received back in 2015. It's a designation that you apply to the Coast Guard, United States Coast Guard, and then it gets approved by Congress. We're one of only 3 counties in the country and 18 cities that have received the designation, so we're very proud of that, a very proud Coast Guard community. But the designation itself is based upon how the community supports the Coast Guard and our ties, our history with the Coast Guard here in Cape May County. One of the decisions was to go as a city or as a county, and when you look at the history of the Coast Guard within the county, it made sense to take the broader designation, which was something that was unusual at the time when we applied for it. A lot of people are familiar with the training center in Cape May, but we've also got the Uniform Distribution Center up in Woodbine. The history is all of the life-saving stations up and down the coast, kind of the precursor to the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard uses the airport to protect its equipment in times of bad weather. So there's just a lot of Coast Guard's involvement throughout the county. And
what does having the Coast Guard right there in Cape May, what's that mean to Cape May County, and specifically the Cape Mays?
Yeah, so the training center in Cape May, there was an economic impact study that was done a few years back, and they determined the economic impact of having the training center in Cape May was $178 million a year.
Whoa!
So there's a big economic impact as well as the community impact, and they derive that from not only the salaries and wages of the people on the base, but also the impact of the visitors that come to Cape May during the year. So if you're not familiar, the training center in Cape May is the only boot camp for enlisted recruits in the country. So anyone who goes into the Coast Guard enlists as a recruit goes through an 8-week boot camp here in Cape May. So that's why we refer.
How about that? Right in our backyard.
It's right in our backyard. That's why you'll hear it referred to as the Coast Guard's hometown, the birthplace of the Coast Guard. Of the people who work in the Coast Guard, approximately 80% of them have gone through Cape May.
Jeez, oh flip.
Training Center. So everyone has an experience there that at least lasts 8 weeks. Sometimes they come back. Many current Captain Gibbons went through the training center through boot camp and is now back there as the commanding officer of the base. So he's got a good history there. But they estimated about 41,000 visitors come through to attend the graduations. Each week, pretty much every Friday, there's a graduation. I attended one this morning. So the families come in to celebrate the graduations. They're staying in the hotels. They're going out for celebratory dinners.
Right.
Many of them are getting exposed to Cape May for the first time. So they're coming from across the country to see Cape May and to celebrate their sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, granddaughters, grandsons graduating from the training center.
That's great. And you got a lot of stuff coming down the pike in the next couple of months. You guys have the festivals and the open houses and things like that. Yeah.
So the foundation was formed in 2015 as a nonprofit to support the Coast Guard community designation. So the designation lasts for 5 years, and then you have to reapply.
Oh, wow.
So while there's already a lot of great activity in the county supporting the Coast Guard, things like the American Red Cross does Operation Fireside, where the recruits visit local homes for the day for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
The Naval Air Station in Wildwood has a Coast Guard area where they highlight Coast Guard assets. So there's already a lot of things going on in the county, but the foundation's role is really to celebrate what's already existing, to educate the community about all the history of the Coast Guard, and also to engage the community throughout the year in supporting the Coast Guard activities. Our main activity is we have a Coast Guard festival the first week in May every year.
Mm-hmm.
The festival includes 3 components at this point. There's a South Jersey Coast Guard Ball on Thursday night at the Cape May Convention Hall.
Okay.
Saturday is a festival that's held at the training center in Cape May. It's the one day per year that the public is free to come on the base and explore ship tours, helicopters, see the recruits perform with the Honor Guard. So there's a lot of activities on the base on Saturday, May 5th. And then Sunday we have a breakfast out at the ferry, where we have some local awards for Coast Guard Spouse of the Year, Hometown Heroes.
Oh, wow.
So, and that also, there's a car show out there. It's also National Tourism Day, so we hope to get a lot of traffic there out at the ferry. So those are the 3 elements of the festival, which this will be our 4th year of having the festival.
And they can find all this information on your website.
All the information's on our website.
I'll leave the link to that in the description below.
Yeah, that'll be great. Normally we have anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 people come out for that single day event. So we hope to grow that each year. We also hope to grow the festival to be a week-long festival.
Okay.
So we'll continue to add more.
Hope for good weather.
Yes, good weather definitely helps.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie Guardian with Kevin Costner?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah. It dramatizes the real life. There's a couple Coast Guard movies out that I don't think they do justice to what actually happens day in and day out.
I'm sure.
I was at graduation today, and they were saying that they have 45 rescues a day, and they're saving 10 lives, and they're protecting the commerce as ships come in and out of port. So there's a lot of activities that the Coast Guard does on a daily basis that you don't necessarily see in those movies.
I gotcha. What's your favorite Kevin Costner movie?
I was just thinking about this the other day. I think it was.
You were just thinking about Kevin Costner movies?
Something came. I was somewhere and someone was talking about a scene in a movie, and the only reason I remembered it was Kevin Costner in No Way Out, I believe was the movie.
I haven't seen
Might have been
that.
before your time.
Oh, man. I'd just take Tin Cup.
What
Maybe
was
Tin Cup? The golf movie?
Yeah, could have been.
Alright, whatever.
I mean, everybody's got their favorite, doesn't
Waterworld? I might get killed for that one. I loved Waterworld.
I'm not a big Kevin Costner fan. So.
Okay, alright. Screw Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
So
we're already at the lightning round. We haven't even gotten there.
You know what? That is the lightning round.
Okay,
that'll be the lightning round. Kevin Costner trivia.
Yeah.
Our favorite movies from Kevin Costner. But the Cape May County Coast Guard Community Foundation, check them out online. They got the ball coming up. You got the festivals coming up. You have a new festival director, correct?
Yes, Susan Hoffman has joined us as well to do that. And part of her coming on, we've added 2 more events in addition to the festival. One is we're having an art show at the Mad Batter from April 5th through May 10th. We've got a reception there on Sunday, April 8th. And then we're also very excited on Friday night, June 8th, we've got a free concert with the National U.S. Coast Guard Band.
Oh, nice.
They'll be playing at the Lower Cape May Regional High School. So we're hoping to fill the theater for that as well. So, one of our goals moving forward is to not have just the festival, but to have year-round activities and to increase the engagement of the community so that they can attend the graduations. The Coast Guard has sunset parades. So there's lots of opportunity for the community and the Coast Guard to interact so that we can truly become that Coast Guard community.
Well, hopefully this video helps you guys out.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, thanks for being on, Mike. Thanks, guys.